Look at the coastline. Now watch it disappear. By the turn of the 22nd century, the thermal expansion of the oceans became the defining geopolitical event of human history. The 1-meter rise predicted in the 2020s was a comfortable lie. The reality was a cascading, exponential failure of the western Antarctic shelf. The great coastal metropolises, the engines of the old global economy. Three billion refugees were pushed inland, compressing the population into shrinking zones of arable land, sparking resource wars that turned continents into slaughterhouses. But while the masses fought for the remaining dirt, a divergent faction looked away from the mountains. We are witnessing the end of the Terran era and the violent birth of the Hydro-Epoch. The seawalls were $1 trillion mistake. We poured concrete into the rising tide until the ocean simply swallowed it whole. By 2075, the retreat protocol was officially abandoned. There was nowhere left to retreat to. The interior lands had become scorching, uninhabitable deserts, or radioactive buffer zones fought over by warlords. The only viable territory remaining was the 71% of the planet we had historically feared. The pelagic exodus began not with a whimper, but with the launch of the first modular megastructure. The solution was the Hydro-Polis, a decentralized, semi-autonomous city-state drifting in international waters, legally and physically untethered from the drowning nations of the old world. In this scenario, we observe Oceanix Prime, the flagship hub located in the stabilizing currents of the North Atlantic. It houses 5 million souls. It is not a refugee camp. It is a fortress of advanced engineering. While the poor were left on the rooftops of the flooded coastal slums, the hubs were constructed for the essential, the wealthy, and the technically gifted. They are vast and tessellated honeycombs of graphene and bioconcrete, designed to ride the waves rather than resist them. A bud represents the ultimate severance of the social contract. When the land sinks, the laws of the land sink with it. The conflict here is absolute. The remnant land-based governments, desperate and starving. Look at these gleaming, floating arcs with envy and rage. They demand resources, they demand tithes, but the hubs have severed communications. The what if isn't just about living on water, but it is about the complete secession of the technological elite from the dying planetary surface. To build on the water, you must first unlearn the arrogance of the skyscraper. Rigidity is a death sentence in the kinetic chaos of the open sea. The architecture of the hub is defined by modular biomimicry. Unlike the static cities of the 20th century, Oceanix Prime is not a monolith. It is a metabolic organism. The city consists of thousands of tessellated hexagonal platforms, linked by variable tension pneumatic bridges. This allows the entire metropolis to flex and articulate with the swells, dissipating the kinetic energy of rogue waves rather than absorbing it. Underneath the waterline, the engineering becomes truly alien. We are looking at a root system of carbon fiber tethers, plunging 3 kilometers into the abyss. These tethers serve a dual purpose: station keeping and energy generation. The hub utilizes massive OTEC plants. By exploiting the temperature differential between the sun-baked surface water and the freezing depths, the city generates a perpetual gigawatt base load. It turns the ocean itself into an infinite battery. But the true breakthrough lies in material science. Steel rusts. Concrete crumbles under salt spray. The hubs are constructed from bioaccretive ceramics. Through a process of controlled electrolysis, low-voltage currents run through the submerged substructures, pulling minerals from the seawater to form a rock-hard limestone coating. The city heals itself. It grows. It treats the corrosive salt environment not as an enemy, but as raw feedstock for its own expansion. Survival, however, requires more than just flirting. The climate of 2100 is characterized by the hypercane, Category 6 storm systems, with wind speeds exceeding 200 miles per hour. A surface city would be shredded. When the satellites detect a hypercane, the hub does not brace, it dives. The central ballast tanks flood. The hexagonal modules retract their solar sails. The entire city-state, 5 million tons of civilization, submerges 20 meters beneath the churning surface. Down here, in the blue silence, the storm passes overhead harmlessly. Life continues under the glow of artificial daylight. Breathing recycled air, scrubbed by massive algae bioreactors that double as the city's primary protein source. The agricultural sector is entirely vertical and hydroponic, relying on genetically edited halophytes, plants that thrive on salt water. We have bypassed the need for freshwater irrigation entirely. This is a closed-loop thermodynamic system. Waste is pyrolyzed into carbon black and hydrogen fuel. Water is captured from atmospheric vapor. The hub is an autarky in the truest sense. It's a machine so efficient that it renders the concept of trade obsolete. It is a technological leviathan, indifferent to the chaos of the ruined continents it left behind. Geography is destiny, and we have just erased the map. The rise of the Hydro-Polis dismantles the Westphalian system of nation-states that has governed humanity for centuries. A country, by definition, requires territory. But when your territory is a mobile, synthetic archipelago drifting in international waters, to whom do you answer? The United Nations has no jurisdiction here. Upon these fortress cities. We are witnessing the death of the nation-state and the rise of the corporate archipelago. Citizenship in the hubs is not a birthright. It is a subscription model. The social contract has been replaced by the user agreement. You are not deported to another country to delude, you are simply cast adrift. This creates a terrifying new class divide. The Pelagians, the genetically enhanced masters of the ocean, and the Terrans, the desperate remnants clinging to the shrinking, burning land. The ocean is the ultimate filter. It cares nothing for your history, your flags, or your gods. On the water, efficiency is the only religion. The existential risk here is profound. By severing our connection to the land, the cradle of our evolution, we are severing our connection to our past. The psychology of the hub dwellers begins to shift. Without a solid horizon, without the permanence of stone and soil, the human mind becomes fluid, detached, and cold. Extracting resources from the deep to fuel a civilization that has no roots. The water does not recede. It waits. In the end, the ocean city is not a temporary shelter. It is the permanent address of the future. The children born here have never seen a mountain. They have never felt the grit of sand. Or the smell of rain on dry asphalt. Their reality is the hum of the OTEC generators and the infinite blue variance of the horizon. We are witnessing the forced evolution of Homo sapiens into Homo Pelagicus. And so the little bear snuggled deep into its shade, safe from the wind and the rain, dreaming of honey. We always believed our destiny lay in the stars, above the atmosphere. And we were wrong. Our future was waiting in the crushing pressure below. We have survived the climate apocalypse through sheer technological will. We have conquered the waves and tamed the storms. But in trading the warmth of the earth for the cold efficiency of the sea,